Hi everybody, John with you, and it's what day of the week is it? Thursday? It's Thursday night, and yeah, I'm kind of in a situation right now where I can't be doing some of the stuff I normally would be doing um, for technical reasons. So I just thought, tonight I think I'll just make a Flaneur pondering vlog. I haven't done one of those in a long time, so I think we're overdue for one. So I'm just going to lay here on the bed and we're just going to chat a little bit, okay? So, and I'll just talk about things that have been going on with me. A couple things happened today that were interesting, but to sum up the last few weeks, I've just come back recently from a trip. I went to Florida. The first stop there was Orlando, where I judged a pageant for Miss United States for Miss International in Japan. We picked the American representative for Miss International in Japan, and that was wonderful. We had a judge's house this year, so the judges all stayed together at a house with a swimming pool, and it was very nice. And I'm not going to talk about that too much. It was a lot of fun, but it's kind of like shop talk or whatever. And I guess if you're really like a judge, you shouldn't really be talking about what's going on behind the scenes or your thought process or whatever, I guess. So I'll just say I had a great time doing that. And then I went to visit my cousin in Clearwater. My cousin and her husband, they came and picked me up, and we drove down to Clearwater, and I stayed with them for a couple of weeks. Probably my last visit there, Clearwater, for a while, because even though this was to be, they're retired, and this was to be their forever house, I was assured. She told me a few months ago that they've decided they're going to actually relocate to Santa Fe, New Mexico. So their house is going to be on the market in a while, and they're going to be looking for a place in Santa Fe. So in the future, I guess I'll go visit them in Santa Fe. And I had a wonderful time there with them, and one of the things that I did, if you watched some of my other videos, that I went record shopping. There are quite a few thrift stores and record shops there, and I picked up many easy listening records, because I have like an easy listening radio station now called Moody Mood Music, and I want more music for that. So I'm up for getting like cheap, really cheap, easy listening records, which you can get them very cheap, because most, they're not really collecting those. People don't really want that kind of music, and they're kind of throwing it away. So you get a lot of it at dollar record bins. And the truth be told, I ended up buying a grand total of about 175 records, which I had shipped media mail back to me here in Honolulu. So it's pretty cheap to mail things media mail, but it takes a long time. Can take like 2 months before it gets here, but that's fine. But I went to like 3 or 4 different places and bought quite a lot at each place. Ended up with about 175. So lots of music coming. Then I came back here, and interesting story today. What's happened today? And I apologize, as I'm looking at this, I realize I'm kind of shiny. I put a little bit of powder on, but I just I went to the beach today for a while, and I just find when I come back home from the beach that day, and I've showered and gotten cleaned up, and I just ate some dinner, but on those days I always seem to be kind of shiny, oily, or whatever anyway. So that day, whatever. Sorry for my oiliness. Anyway, what happened today? 2 things happened today. One was I tried to book a cruise. This is so bizarre. So I kind of have a bucket list of cruises I wanted to go on, trips, places I wanted to see, and it's not a real normal bucket list. Uh, because it's mainly just tropical islands. I just sort of have East Lomania, or whatever you want to call it. I have a thing for tropical islands, and I just want to go to, many, many, many of them. And I've now been on, I don't even know how many cruises in the Caribbean, and been to almost every island. There's a couple I haven't been to, but I've been to almost every island in the Caribbean. I was on a cruise in the western South Pacific, so New Caledonia, Fiji, Vanuatu. Yeah, I think that was it. And also the other side of the Pacific, French Polynesia cruise that went through Tahiti and the islands around Tahiti and the Marquesas and Cook Islands. So the kind of bucket list cruise for me was this one that I wanted to do this year. It's on Costa, which is an Italian cruise line. I know it's the one that had the captain that left when the boat sank and all that, but I'm not worried about that. So spare me, okay? I know. So it's an Italian cruise line, but it's a cruise. The itinerary is an Indian Ocean island cruise, and it goes to Mauritius, the Seychelles, Reunion Island, which is a French possession, and Madagascar. It's a 2-week cruise. They're the only line that does it, and it was bucket list for me, and so I had everything together today, and I called Vacations to Go, which is who I normally go through to book my cruises. Great experiences with them, and they were like, yeah, I gave them the number and whatever, and they're like, yeah, something is strange about this, and he's like, I don't seem to be able to book this. He tried a few things and couldn't figure it out, and said, listen, let me call you back. I'm gonna call Costa directly, and find out what's going on with this. So he gets back to me and he says, strangest thing, I can't get booked on it because this particular cruise, they will not, the cruise line will not issue a ticket or accept a reservation with somebody who has North American air transfers, meaning you're flying in from North America and back out to North America. You can't book this cruise. And it's so weird, right? Like, I've never heard of something like that, and I thought, well, okay, like, I mean, there's nothing anybody can really do about it. And I don't mean like you have to book through the cruise line your air transfers, because I never do that. I always get my own airplane tickets to wherever the port of departure is, but they won't. They won't do it if you're coming in out of North America. So, yeah, really bummer. So I thought, well, let me call Costa as well. Like I said, they're a European-based cruise line, so their main offices are in Europe, but there is a branch or call center or whatever here in the States. So I called them, and she was getting ready to book me as well. Like, she was going, yeah, no, we can do this, la da 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 da. Let's see, Port Louis, Mauritius, la la la, and it leaves in and out of Mauritius. By the way, you have to go to Mauritius. She's like, this is blocked out. Let me find out. And so she was able to find out that they've actually blocked out several, though that particular cruise, for its however many they do, they've blocked them out. And that Costa has their own charter flights that they're bringing people in from Europe, specifically for these cruises, this itinerary. I guess it's a popular itinerary for them, for Europeans. It's kind of like their Hawaii, the Indian Ocean. It's closer. So they have these charter flights, and so they book up the whole cruise line. They book the whole ship with their own people that they're bringing in charter, and they don't let anybody come from outside to reserve or go on that cruise. She said it's possible that what they do is when it gets closer to the date, if it looks like it's not going to sell out for them, then they may open it up to people like myself coming independently from North America, that you can book it, but there's no guarantee, and they don't know if that will happen or at what time that will happen. I was looking at a November 23rd is what I was looking at. Time-wise for me, that's kind of when I should do it. And it's still the good season there, weather-wise. Yeah, so I just couldn't. That was really a bummer. Like I said, that's kind of been bucket list for me for no good reason, but it's just that I want to go to those islands that I would love to go on a cruise. That's how I want to go. I love cruises. So I guess that's not going to happen, or we'll see. I'll keep in touch with them and see if they open it back up, but it doesn't sound very promising to me. And I know Americans don't go there. I mean, whenever I mention these places, I know that 99% of Americans are like, "Mom, what? Where? Reunion? What is that?" I mean, they know about Madagascar because of the Disney movie, I guess, but the other islands they don't know. So it's not like a lot of American people go there. It is more like a European tropical vacation. But I want to go anyway, but I guess I can't. So we'll see what happens. And then as soon as I was done with all of that, my computer started making like a weird noise. It's been like, I know it's kind of iffy for a while, my laptop, because it is kind of cracked on the bottom. The casing of it's kind of cracked, and I know eventually, like, it's not going to work. But it's been fine. It's been really good. But today it started making a weird clinking noise. And I thought, okay, well, I guess maybe this is the day, right? And it wouldn't, like the mouse wouldn't respond, not the mouse, but the, the pointer or whatever, like when you're trying to move it, it just wouldn't respond, and it wouldn't open anything. And I thought, okay, well, I have to just restart it and see what happens. But I have a feeling when I turn this thing off that that's going to be the end of it. And that was true. I turned it off, and when it started to boot back up, and the Toshiba sign comes on, and then when it's supposed to go to your screen, it doesn't, and it's just all these messages and things come up. It's like, oh, and like, yeah, and it's like clink, 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 clinking, making noises like, yeah, okay, I got it. It's time. It's time. I mean, this is like I think it's 5 years old, I think, this laptop, so, that's good. Problem is now I have to find one. Well, I don't have to, but I really want to find one that has the CD, a rewritable drive in it, built in. I know that's kind of an antiquated thing. I mean, nobody does that now. They just, you have your whatever, laptop or pad or whatever you got, and you just get external DVD CDR drives. But I've tried that when this drive broke, and it doesn't do what I really need for it to do, which is it has to be able to read music, specifically digital music CDRs, recordable digital music CDRs. It has to be able to read them and rip them, and then I can take those MP3 files to an external hard drive where I keep all my thousands upon thousands upon thousands of songs, like 29,000 songs. Have to be on an external hard drive. So I have to be able to do that, and the removable one I had would not do that. It didn't even read all of those music CDRs, let alone, rip them and do other things. So easiest thing for me would be if I could just find one that has one in it. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but I was looking on, I might be able to just go to Best Buy or Walmart or somewhere. It looks like, I don't know that they're going to have them in stock in the store from what I've seen. But I was looking on Amazon, and they do have them, that have the DVD, CR, CD, RW drive. That's what it's called. That should be able to do that, just like the one I have now. So I know it's kind of an antiquated thing, and they will keep making them forever. But like, please give me another 4 or 5 years of this, because I'm old and I don't like to relearn how to do everything. And like, I had what do you call it? The turntables that are USB turntable. I had one of those that I got when this drive died on this one that I replaced eventually, but and it was okay. Like, I wasn't that crazy about it. The program to make, MP3, what wasn't MP3s, it made some other kind of file, and then I had to convert it to MP3s. But it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't awesome. Yeah, it was okay. It worked, and then it didn't work. Then it died. Like, in a few months, the turntable just dead. So, like, yeah, I just would like to keep doing it the way I'm used to, if I can, for as long as I can. Just because I'm an old person and I know how to do it that way. And, yeah, so I think I'm going to be able to get one on Amazon. But we'll see. I might wait a few days and see if anything miraculous happens, like somebody shows up. I mean, I've put it out on my Facebook. Maybe somebody will, like, hey, buy mine because I'm, got a new one or something. We'll see what happens. I'll give it a few days. Okay, what is this? 16 minutes. Okay, that's long enough, I guess. That's kind of my rambling and pondering. Pondering, will I ever get to the Indian Ocean cruise? Because it's really the last thing on my bucket list. Yeah, it is. One part of the island world I haven't been to. And I do want to go on a cruise. I don't want to fly there and stay in a hotel and do that. I just don't. I don't. I would like to see all the islands, and I would like to see them on a cruise, because I don't need to spend more than a day or two at any one of them. I don't. But I want to go. I love cruises. Have you been on cruises? I know they're not for everybody, but man, I love cruises. So relaxing. So nice. You can be as social as you want to be. You can be as quiet as you want to be. You can sit in a deck chair by yourself and bury yourself in a book and music and not have to talk to anybody, or you can just be Mr. Congeniality and go to the dining room and socialize with everybody. It's nice. You can do exactly what you want to do. So, yeah, and see a bunch of different places without having to pack and unpack. And the food is wonderful, and it's already paid for, and you can eat as much as you want to. I like it. Anyway, okay. That's it, I guess. We'll talk to you later. Bye.